Well, that's weird. It's nice to actually have good internet where it's not dropping frames and putting all sorts of weird shit out there. I'm about 2 minutes late because the dogs took way longer outside than I was expecting them to. But welcome everyone to a random live stream. I'm looking kind of like crap because I'm exhausted and sore. I haven't put out any created videos recently other than for Johnny O's stream, and I know I haven't been live streaming my usual times and stuff like that. So I wanted to go over many things of what's going on, obviously. I am back to work. Let's see, what day was it? Tuesday. I actually started last week, Thursday, and it's mostly evening stuff or afternoon evening stuff, and so it kind of changes up what I'm able to do online, and most of the times that I'm going to be working is going to be weekends. Like now, the way things are going, I'm going to work Sunday, because I passed my retrain on Tuesday, so I'm sore and exhausted from that because it's I wish I could play video for you guys. I don't think I'm allowed to when it comes to the spot or the training. I'm not 100% sure, but I would love to be able to play it sometime so y'all can kind of see what things we have to go through in order to become a tunnel instructor. It's stuff that's not hidden, but I just don't know if like us going through training is allowed to be aired. So like, he'll fly up against the glass or something and bounce off and flip to his back, and then I gotta catch him as he's falling down, and if he goes up to the glass and starts to come head down on the glass, be able to get there and catch it before he busts his neck and stuff like that. So it was torture. Definitely realized how much of my muscle I lost during all this, and realize like how out of shape I've gotten over the past 14 months. But sorry for the dogs. I give it 1 week, and I think I'll probably be mostly back in, or not 1 week, 1 month. Did I say 1 month? 1 month, and I'll mostly be back in shape. Probably won't have all the weight gone yet, but, so, because I'm back to work, I work this Sunday, and then after that I work weekends, and so the weekdays I could probably do stuff, but as summer comes along and as things pick up, I'll probably be more busy and less likely able to do certain things, so I know my content is going to be really slow moving. Maybe once every 2 weeks be putting something out. It all depends on how I feel. And then with the live streams, I'm going to try to figure out what's a day that I want to live stream, because I don't know what my steady days off will be. I would like to continue to do Hump Day Hangouts. I know it says Hump Day Chat up there, and it's Thursday. But I would like to do something still. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of changes going on. Basically, I don't know if you guys just saw, obviously, I'm kind of gonna remove everyone from being a moderator at this point right now, just because going to different live streams, like I kind of stepped away for like the past 3 weeks, and I've been in some places, but I stepped back because I was doing the trip and then getting ready for work, and I was getting burnt out on a lot of things, and I noticed while lurking someplace, God damn it, Tina! Scared me again. But as I've been going in some places, I've kind of noticed that there's like just drama happening. And drama happening between moderators and non-moderators, and then you go to another channel and things happen. So I just decided I'm getting rid of moderators altogether on this channel. I don't think I stream enough or have enough people to to have some of the issues maybe other places have, or to where I can't keep up with what's going on in the chat. So I'm kind of just doing away with all that for right now. And there's people I like all throughout the community. I'm not super new to the community, but I'm not also super old. I just know that there was a lot of stuff going on before I entered in. And so now I'm in it, and there's a lot of people that I've talked to, a lot of people that I love, a lot of people that I like hanging out with, and there's people who, some people who dislike those people, these people over here dislike other people, and I don't want to get into the politics of it. I don't want to get into the weeds of it. It's not that I'm trying to be complacent. It's just that I want my experience for you to be enjoyable. And so I want to keep doing my videos. I want to keep doing my live streams, and I don't want it to be not fun. So if there's people on both sides of an aisle in my live stream, hopefully people can keep it civil and just understand that, I'm not trying to say that I'm cool with what some people do and not cool with what other people do. I don't want to partake in that publicly. I'm almost 41. I don't need to be dealing with this. I got too many other things going on in life. I like the pandemic's ending, work's kicking back up. I was close to buying a home before all this hit, and so now we kind of got to reestablish all that because the market's obviously much different now, and our finances are much different now. So I got too much on my plate to mess around with this stuff. And I've had people talking to me in the background and stuff like that, and I'm okay with that, but I think I'm going to kind of step back from giving any sort of advice to people or anything like that, because I don't want to fall prey to a bunch of this stuff. So that's what's up. I'm so excited to be back at work. It was the first 3 days that I was working, I was basically just kind of helping them out, making sure that suits were cleaned and helmets were getting sanitized and helping guide customers to places and whatnot. I got to think of my classroom training that I got to do now. Like I go up and I talk in front of the class, and so I used to have my classroom. It wasn't a written down script, but I used to say pretty much the exact same thing as if I was reading the script every class. So I got to get back into figuring out how I want to go about that. Some things have changed a little bit. Most of the stuff that I've done when I teach my class is going to stay the same, just maybe add a few things. So I'm excited to take my first class coming back. It's going to kick my ass, but I'm okay with that. I don't think it can be nearly as bad as what my trainer did, because my trainer purposely does anything and everything that you could possibly expect, but you're lucky if you encounter one or two of those during a class. And so even though my arms were the most fried from it, ready to be back. Can't wait to take people up on a high flight. Let's see, do I have a video of what a high flight looks like so I can show you guys what that's all about? I do have pictures and video. Some from my trip. I already showed some, but I'm going to show a little bit more. I would like to try to produce something where it's kind of like a mix of everything. Photos, me chatting in the car, talking about what my plans are for the day, stuff like that. And I figure out where this is. Talk about the trip, and maybe do one day where it was like when I was doing just Minneapolis to Denver, or maybe like Minneapolis to Denver to Rigby, because the Minneapolis to Denver wasn't all that exciting. So it's not super important, that one. All right, let me see. I should have tunnel. There we go. So let's see if I can put something. Here we go. Oh, I gotta have something newer. I know I have a newer video somewhere. Doing high flights. I'll figure this out. Let's see. Sidetracks ruin streams on channels that have nothing to do with certain issues. Yeah. The other thing too is I found myself not wanting to watch any streams, or not watch people in general. And it's kind of sad, but it's not fun anymore. Like, I used to go in and bullshit around and have fun and talk with everyone, and now I feel like there's times where I've gone in and it just seems more so people bickering and who's better than who, or it's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm over it. Let's see here. I think I'm getting things pulled up. Sorry if you hear a lot of clicking, and sorry if you also hear the air conditioner running in the background. I tried to do like a noise suppression, but I think it still kind of kicks on. All right, let's see here. Boom. All right. It's full screen. So this is going to, I hope it plays. This is going to be a high flight. It's not a normal high flight, but it's a little kid, and so I'm holding them a little bit differently. And let's see if it plays. Yeah, there we go. So tiny little kid. Turn this off. That music's annoying. Tiny little kid. I think they were 3 or 4 years old. And look how good she's doing. She did so good. She listened to everything I said. Kids, it's kind of hard because the winds are kind of low, and even like 3-4 miles per hour of wind will make them go up. But this is a high flight right here. And this is a little bit different way to hold people than a normal high flight, because she's so little. This is the way I fly little kids. And this is the part I kind of like the most about my job, because when you have the 85-year-old grandma who goes up on a high flight, and then you take them out of the tunnel and you see them jump up and down like a little kid, that's the best feeling in the world, because in that moment you made them a kid again and excited for things, and it's just, I love it. So that's a high flight, not the normal high flight, but a high flight nonetheless. Let's see. Let's pull up. Let's go over some of the stuff that I did on my trip, some of the photos. Let's start from the bottom up. So this video is from my drone. It's one of the 2 times I was able to get my drone up during my 5-day trip. Because I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I came back Tuesday. So yeah, 5 days. All 5 days, windy as hell. I was able to get the drone up twice, and that's because I was more in a valley area. And where I got the drone up in this one, it was a little bit windier up top, but it was able to handle it. It can handle winds up to like 25 miles per hour, but the gusts were really bad. And so I was trying to keep it kind of below some of the cliffs. So here's one of my drone videos. It's not edited down. This is just the raw footage. So at some point I'll probably take it and make some, like, clip it up and put it in with some of the driving videos. There's my little tiny car down there on the road. This area was beautiful. It was part of a 120 or 130 mile section that there was just nothing. There was nowhere you could stop for gas or go to the bathroom or anything like that. And out of that 120, 130 miles, the last 30 miles, or not the last 30, because the last bit was paved, but about 20 miles of it was dirt road. And so I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why my Google Maps was taking me there. Luckily, I grabbed a paper map from every state that I went into. And so I pulled out the Colorado map and I looked, and showed connected. It was just gravel for that 20 miles, and then it continued to be paved again. So I just kept going, and I'm kind of glad I went back in this area and didn't try to stay on paved roads, because I never would have got these aerial shots. I never would have been in this area. There was a big stone that had Native American carvings on it. No one would know about it back there because there's nothing that tells you that it's back there. There just happens to be like a small little parking area on the gravel road where you can pee in an outhouse if you want. And then they had like this weird deck thing, and so I go up on the deck, and then all of a sudden they just say, oh, carvings from people in the past. And okay, so that's done. Let's pull up some of the photos. No, let's go here. Whatever. Oh. So, yeah, no one would know it was back there, and it was cool to just be a part of it and take it and getting the drone up. I also free fly, or I fly by hand. I don't do much of the automated stuff with my drone, so all that stuff that I do is just strictly by hand. So when it's really smooth shots like that, I do that. I have other videos where it's really, really crappy. But here's Devil's Tower, and more of Devil's Tower. This was the 4th day of my trip. I kept hearing Chase in the background. Chase wasn't with me, but I could hear him all the time. Like, this just exists. It's just here. Nature's wild. And I spent probably 2 hours there. I hiked the path around and took a lot of photos. I'm not going to bore you guys with all the photos that I took of it. This was in the Badlands, or not the Badlands, the Black Hills, on a road going up, and I got a time-lapse video of one of the roads, and it might make you really dizzy, and I'm sorry if it makes you really dizzy, but it's my favorite road in the U.S. for Lord knows what reason, but it just is. This is also in the Black Hills. I think I showed you guys a lot of the photos from the mountains, so I'm not gonna show too much of that. It was just a little rock arch right there, and then on one of the roads off in the distance, an overlook, you see Mount Rushmore. So I don't know how well you guys can see it, but it's there. It's right in the center of the screen. You can see kind of like all the rock that's down. And what's funny is you don't realize like how big that whole little, I don't want to call it a mountain, but that elevation protrusion or something, how big it is. Because when you go see Mount Rushmore, I don't want to say it seems small, but you only see a certain side of it when you're closer, so it's kind of crazy. So I'm going to do a time-lapse video of when I was doing Denver to Rigby, and this was on Interstate 70 in the Eisenhower Tunnel. So this is going to be time-lapse, so it's going to go by really fast. And this tunnel goes underneath a mountain, so it's a good 2-3 miles long or something, just going underneath a mountain. And when you come out, then you start going downhill, and this is the view. And it's weird for me because I know a lot of people on here live near mountains, or like Slim lives in Colorado and he gets to see this pretty much all the time if he wants. And to me it's just amazing, because I don't live in a place like this. I live where it's flat and trees everywhere. And so this is kind of why I wanted to do my road trip. You can tell that the grade is pretty steep, because you'll see every so often on the right hand side, you'll see the runaway ramps for trucks and trailers that brakes fail or go bad, and so then they got to use that semi or truck runaway little zone. Hello Tony, good to see you. Some of the parts coming up here is pretty awesome, like that mountain right in front of the center. I mean, you're just going down the road and that's what you see. So here's one of those semi runaways where it's a ramp. They go up up that. Yeah. This was going into Breckenridge, Colorado. And it was an absolutely stunning area. At the end of this clip, I pull over into like a scenic overlook spot, and I took a couple photos there. I was hoping I could have got the drone up, but it was way too windy. I think I showed you guys some of those photos already when I was doing kind of like a live stream update and stuff. But so this is exactly what I needed to get away from her, to go and see this and enjoy it. And yeah, it's a big. I think the overlook's coming up. It was just weird. Like every turn you take, it's just like a whole different scene or a whole different view. Tony, work is going all right. My first 3 days were just kind of helping them out, and Tuesday I went in and did my instructor retraining, and I passed that. Kicked my ass. I was telling everyone I'm out of shape. I'm sore, and yeah, so it's gonna be a bit before I'm back in the game, but I'm excited to be there. Sunday will be my first instructor shift. So that was Breckenridge. Then this is a time lapse of my favorite highway in South Dakota, and it's 16A, which is in the Black Hills, and it's like a roller coaster. It really is. And my average speed during all this is about 15 miles per hour. So, obviously it's time lapse and stuff, but it's so windy, and every little turn you take, like something new gets revealed, like there's some sort of overlook that you see, being able to see all the things there, and you see how sharp it is. The backside of this hill that I'm going up, though, is probably the part that I enjoy the most, and you guys will understand once it does its little jump clip right here. So this is going to be the backside, and it starts to get into an area where the road splits. They can't have it be side by side like that anymore because of all the trees and the hills and everything else like that. So it's kind of weird that like you're on this really narrow road. They don't allow, semis obviously can't go up this. They don't want like Winnebagos or camper trailers coming up. Like, see, here's where the road splits. So it almost reminds me of like an alpine slide or one of those alpine roller coasters. And you can tell that it's not, a flat road. It's pretty wavy. But yeah, no tractor trailers, no pulling campers, or at least it's preferred not to, just because the turns are so steep. And then you'll see up here coming up, there's tunnels, and the tunnels only allow one vehicle through. So when you come up onto a tunnel, you got to swing real wide, like here, so you can see, and then see that no one's coming, and then continue on. Then the other fun part, like that right there, is called a pigtail, and there's more coming up. It's where you basically just loop back around underneath yourself, because in order to get down and the way the terrain is, you just do a big turn, so you're going over a bridge over the road that you're going to be on in just a little bit. And so yeah, hello Facty. Yeah, and when I saw that biker going up, I was like, you're crazy, because this does not give you the perception of how steep this actually is. Like I said, I was probably going 15 miles per hour because the terrain and the steepness and the sharp turns like here. So you do a big turn coming up, and then you see right above you where you just came from. And so, yeah. Cool. Loved it. Loved every part of that trip. I should pull up one more thing. Probably boring you guys to death, but I wanted to share a little bit because I had been gone for a while. I should show you guys South Dakota. Do I want to put you through that torture? I gotta see what I'm doing here. Oh, why am I not back on there? Oh, there we go. I don't know why it took me off. Oh, now I gotta figure out where was I talking? put it in there. Do this. Do that. That's South Dakota. Oh, is it only that long? Are you kidding me? I put in the shortest. I put in the shortest one. Okay. Oh no, it's gone. It's gone. There it goes. We'll mute that. Basically, I'm like, here's South Dakota. This is what you guys get to look forward to if you drive through it. And I had 4 hours of this. 4 hours of that. Nebraska was bad. South Dakota, I can't say if it's worse or not. At least in South Dakota, like off in the distance, you can see some terrain and parts of the Badlands and stuff like that. And then you get into the Missouri River Valley area. Whereas Nebraska was just flat. There was green there. It wasn't brown like South Dakota. It was green. It was flat with fields and some trees, but it just went. It just kept going. And I almost would have preferred like what I saw in South Dakota, because like I said, off in the distance you see the terrain, you can see the Badlands and whatnot. So welcome Fohammer and Angel Gamer. Glad you guys could make it. I was just kind of showing stuff from the trip and the things I was doing. And giving kind of like a little bit of updates of what's going on my end on this channel. And Shane, hello to you too. Forgot to say your name. I think I got everyone otherwise. So, I don't know what else to say. I kind of threw everything in. I just kind of did this last minute. I have a doctor appointment at 4 o'clock. Some of you know that I thought I was nervous about gallbladder issues, and doing training on Tuesday definitely did not help that area feel any better. So I'm going to go in finally, but I got insurance again, so I'm going to go in and get a physical, because I haven't had a physical for probably 8 years, maybe longer. Get a physical and do the normal blood work and figure out if they can figure something, if it is my gallbladder or maybe it's something else. Give them the heads up. So I'm going to go in for that. Yay. But otherwise, I don't know what else to say. Like I said, I just kind of want to pop on, give you guys an update, show you some of the things from the trip. Some of you probably curious about a little bit with the Chase situation. Things are going well. We're working on it, and we're communicating more. I'm probably the one with the biggest communication issues where I don't communicate. I kind of internalize things a lot. And, but we're working on it. We're going, hopefully he'll be on a stream with me again soon. And we'll get things going. Like I said, I'll let you guys know when I start to make things more regular again. You'll be able to tell if you all are subscribed. It'll be like, whether it be, Monday Madness or I don't know, whatever it is. I'll put something out. And I've been asking people what their symptoms have been. If people have had gallbladder problems, what their symptoms have been. Because like you go online and people are real vague about it. Or they say like, oh, I had symptoms, and so then I went in and had to get a surgery. And yeah, so it's for me lately, it's not been as bad. In the fall, it was horrid. It was like someone took a spear and shoved it into my front abdomen area, like, probably right below the right rib cage, maybe like an inch below where the right rib cage is. And it would be so bad, it would make me feel like I'm cramping, and then it would go to like my back and kind of spread throughout my right side of my back. I try to keep track of if there were certain foods that were causing it, and it didn't seem like it had a rhyme or reason. And I know a lot of people say, well, if you eat a fatty food or if you eat red meat, it's going to kick it in real bad. And there's times it would, but then there's other times where I'd eat a salad and the salad would almost make it worse than anything. And I thought about the liver. There's the reason why I'm kind of a little bit more leaning to slightly gallbladder is because I haven't had any urine issues. I don't want to get overly personal, but there were bowel problems. Like there would be a time where last summer we went out to Chase's parents for my birthday, and that weekend, yes, there was a lot of fatty foods involved because that's my favorite type of food. Like it was basically bacon wrapped burgers or something or other, and then there was like French toast bombs, and Angel Glimmer. Yeah, it typically usually always happened after eating. There were times where all of a sudden it would just kick in. Like there was one time we were at Target and just stab right in the abdomen, and it would last for maybe 2 seconds, and then it would be kind of okay. But so that weekend at Chase's parents, on the way back, it was to where I could not hold having to go poop. Like I had to pull over the side of the road, go in the cornfield, and go. And we were 2 miles outside from being in the town where I could have went to a gas station. I couldn't hold it. And there was another point where we went to Red Wing, and there's some bluffs out there to hike. It's been in a couple of my drone videos. Ate a protein bar, and we started to hike up the side of the hill. Instantly had to go to the bathroom. And it had to find like a tree stump. It was weird. It was like a perfectly hollowed out tree stump that almost looked like it was meant to be a nature toilet. Those are the only 2 times with that. There's been a certain color in it that you shouldn't find in it. It's only happened twice. The most recent actually was now on Sunday. Otherwise, the time before I think was back in the fall. And like I said, I don't want to get overly gross or overly detailed about this, but I also feel like if people don't talk about it, we won't. If someone's going through the same thing and they hear it, then they could be like, I'm going through the same thing. I've had the exact same stuff. Now I kind of know. So as weird as or as embarrassing it is, I do feel like it's something to talk about. But I'll say this. My bowel movements aren't like they used to be. They can vary, but it's more so the stabbing pain. I haven't had too much of the stabbing, like spear through the abdomen, as strong as I did in the fall. It's been weaker. And I don't want to say like, well, maybe a stone actually did go through, and so I'm doing better. But I do have my moments where it cramps up, and I can feel it. Or I'll be sitting here, and all of a sudden, for no reason, like, see, now what's weird is I kind of touched that spot, and I bent over a little bit. It feels like it kind of kicks in. But there will be times I'll be sitting here, and all of a sudden, just instant like stab, and I'm down, and it's literally like a knife just digging right in there. And it's a very specific spot. It doesn't move, it doesn't change, it's always the same spot. It's not far enough out, I don't think, to be kidneys, so I haven't said anything on kidneys. And hi! I don't know if you heard me say hi to you earlier, but no, just a muscle shirt type thing. It should end up on dingleberries and Klingons. But yes, I know I'm at the age where, like I said, going in for my physical today, I will not be surprised if they will want to. I don't know if I'd have to go to a proctologist specifically, but I wouldn't be surprised if they would want to do God dang it, what does it guys have that girls don't have in the rectum? They're always talking about, like, if you do frequent urination, it could be your yeah, muscles coming tomorrow for sure. God damn it, now I can't remember. Stick the 2 fingers up and they check. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to do that today. But I'm not sure if it has to be a proctologist or not. My urination hasn't changed. Your prostate, thank you. Me, out of all people, should know about that. But my urine hasn't changed. I haven't had any. My bladder hasn't been any different than normal. So it's another reason why I wouldn't lean towards kidney or prostate. But yes, I should be going in for a colonoscopy, especially with my family history of cancer. You know, my dad passing away at the age of 56, and having dealt with cancer multiple times throughout his life. And my sister even having had thyroid cancer. I went in for that right away when she found out she had thyroid cancer. But yeah, so we'll find out with the physical that I have today, and then of course I'll come back on stream and I'll tell everyone about it. Like, hey, you shoved 2 fingers up my butt and I didn't get a boner, so it proves I'm not a bottom. I'm just kidding. I do find it funny when straight guys and they go to get their prostate checked and they want to be all embarrassed because they got an erection from it, and it's like, that's pretty much why there's people who like to have or why there's men who like to have anal sex. Again, more information than y'all probably want to know. Yeah, that's folks kind of the same with me. I had an aunt passive cancer, all on my dad's side. An aunt passive cancer, my grandparents. 3 out of the 4 of my grandparents passed away of cancer. My dad obviously with cancer, and then my sister having cancer and heart disease. So I'm not excited, but every time I've gone in, it's been good. And hello, Vishanti, welcome. And oh, look at that, we got Linda, we got everyone. When I'm ready to, like, kind of wrap it up and feel like I have nothing more to say because I've been tired as shit, that's when everyone decides to come in. And women too. I didn't do women have a prostate? See, I didn't think they did, and I don't, because I know the prostate is supposed to be the stimulating factor when it comes to anal sex. Again, welcome everyone into the news who just walked in, who's hearing about this. I probably shouldn't vape this one. Yeah. I probably shouldn't vape that one, being I gotta be at the doctor in an hour and 45 minutes. That's why pegging is getting more popular among straight men. I still don't fully understand the pegging thing. I think I know what it is, but I'm not sure I know what it is. But I want to know what it is, but I don't want to know what it is. I've heard it said many times. I don't know if I want to know. Yeah. Talk about butt sex. Got here just in time. Okay, so they don't have a prostate, but they have other nerve endings linked to the rectal cavity. This is great. Just the tip. Is that what pegging is? Is just the tip? That's just teasing? That's foreplay, or part of it. Okay. This turned a very interesting route of opening up, saying no one's gonna be moderators on my channel, and I'm not. I know that there's all sorts of weird mixed things going on, and so I'm trying to keep it interesting. This definitely made this interesting. The strap-on goes up the bunghole, but it's attached to a female. I never tried it, but won't judge others for trying. No, I honestly don't know what pegging is. And like I said, I've heard it, and I think I've heard people mention like what it kind of is, but I never really pay attention because I'm just like, oh god, whatever. And Bo, I agree. You probably wouldn't say no to Angel, but the weird thing is that I think guys would like it way more than what they think they would. It's, you know, there was her name Monique, a comedian who was on like the Queens of Comedy, and I think it's Monique who talks about this, about going down to give a guy a rim job. And she's talking about, you know, like how to do it with a guy. And she's like, you know, you have him lay on his stomach and he's going to feel awkward about it. You start kissing him up on the neck and he's going to like it. And she goes, and then you start kissing him down his back and he's still going to like it and he's going to enjoy it. And then she goes, and then there's going to be a certain point, a very specific point on the back where you're going to start to kiss and you're going to notice that he's going to start to clench his butt. And he's already going to start to be nervous because he's wondering what you're starting to do. And she said, but you still got to just kind of keep, you know, lightly touching him and maybe kiss him in that spot a little bit more. And then she talks about, like, and then there comes like a no return point where you have to prepare yourself to get punched in the face. Because if you kiss right on the top of their butt crack, because they're already nervous and they're clenched up, when you kiss on the top of the butt crack, they might turn around and punch you. So be ready for it. But yet they're going to be curious, so they might let you keep going. And then she talks about how you start kissing in the butt, and then next thing you know, they're highly enjoying it. But it's a really good little skit that she does. I'm pretty sure it's Monique from Queens of Comedy. Okay, so yeah, so I didn't know that was the specific term for it. I thought it was just like you're getting fucked with the strap on, you know. But I guess if it's strictly to the, you know, to putting it in someone's butt, then I guess I understand. The grapefruiting video. I don't know what the grapefruiting video is, and I don't know if I want to know what the I am one person who is extremely proud to say I have never watched the Two Girls One Cup video, and nor do I ever want to see that video. And I watched maybe 2 reaction videos, and even then I didn't even want to watch the reaction videos. And so I am very proud to say that that is one thing I have never seen and never want to see. You know, more power to people who are about that, but that I'm pretty vanilla when it comes to certain things. You know, y'all don't need to know what I've done. But as far as that kind of stuff, it would make me look very, very vanilla, you know, I'm like a manila envelope. Look at me. So yeah, that was a fun little segment to get into. Yeah, see, Shane, that's exactly why I wouldn't want to see it. I like, even if it was faked. If there's something about it that was faked, or if there's a jump scene where they change things up, I don't care. I don't want to know. You know, like the the Austin Power scene when he's pouring the cup of coffee and he drinks it and he's like, oh, it's a bit nutty, and it's just like, even that, like, I just, ugh. I did come up with, hello hello Taddy, hello GeoSam. I'm sorry I haven't responded to you. It's been I haven't responded to a lot of people. It's been a crazy past few days. Hello Convince Me as well. Did you guys, where the hell did you guys suddenly come from? Yeah, but I haven't gotten back to a couple people just because it's been chaos. We had Tuesday morning, we had CPR training for 2 hours, and so I got certified in CPR and Heimlich maneuver and whatnot, and then after that I had 4 hours of training. I wasn't in the wind for 4 hours straight, and we weren't catching spots for 4 hours straight, but I didn't get out of there until really late. Free beer. No, sorry, I don't offer free beer. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I feel like I'd be better seeing like things with EMT stuff than with that. But what was I gonna say now? I don't remember. I was about to say something, and now I don't remember. Y'all threw me off. Y'all came in and just bum rushed me. Damn. My train of thought is so gone now. We could go back and we could show all the photos and videos that I showed everyone. No, I'm not gonna. Y'all can go back to the beginning and watch it again. And I didn't realize I said it as much as I do until Angel Gamer pointed it out, that I do say y'all a lot for a Minnesotan. I do. Oh, that's another thing that I maybe I want to ask you guys, see what you think, because like I said, some of my content might slow down a little bit, or I might not be able to put out as I won't be able to put out as much as I normally do. What would you guys think if I were to post videos of either people tunnel flying like that little girl that I showed, and how good she was? For some of you who don't know, this is a little 3-4-year-old, I can't remember how old she was, flying in the wind tunnel, and that's me teaching her how to fly, and I take her up on a high flight. But I don't know, would you guys be interested in seeing some of these videos and some of the chaos that sometimes ensues? But I know that there's going to be some things I'm limited to put on because of, legal stuff. But like if I do, I was practicing my layovers on Tuesday in the wind, and I don't know if you guys would be interested to see kind of like how the training process goes as far as like trying to build up your skills. Belly stuff is pretty easy, but learning a lot of the other skill sets, it takes that muscle memory of finding where the balance is of either not getting slammed into the glass or flying it properly. And so yeah, I was a little kid. So that's I've done some stuff. I've had videos up of me doing a little bit of my demo and whatnot. But I think it would be kind of cool to talk about how to learn something. Then you can actually physically see me trying to learn a certain skill set. There's one thing that's called head up in phase carving. I've been working on that forever. It's a very weird way to fly. You're supposed to have basically your arms up above your head while you're essentially standing. We got Woody here. We got Woody. And I can't pull a stick out of his bum. So carving, when you're flying it, essentially looks like this. So then you're carving around the tunnel in a circle, standing like that, and then you might switch directions by putting this leg down and bringing this leg up, and now you're going the other direction. And it's very weird because you got, 130 mile per hour winds, 140 mile per hour winds, and you're trying to hold this position. And if this leg is out just a little bit too much, the wind's going to catch you and you're going to flip to your back pretty quickly. So it's a lot of just doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, Woody is getting pegged by me. Poor Woody. That's a big thing to be trying to take. So the belly skills are easy, but when you get into those high speeds, every inch counts. And Fo, I know you know what I'm talking about. When every inch counts. Just kidding, I'm teasing on you. The difference between this and this is massive. There's a girl called Sydney. Fuck, I forget her last name. She's got a YouTube, and she does a lot of freestyle flying, and some of the stuff she does is in Sydney Kennett. Some of the stuff that she does is insane. When she goes to move, there's times where you're like, how did she do that? And you can't see because it's just the tiniest little bit that she'll do, and it completely changes the way she flies. Let's see if I can find Sydney Kennett. If I can try to find a way to share a video with you guys. I don't do Streamlabs, or I don't do OBS real well, so you'll have to bear with me on this one. All right, so we're gonna do this stuff. Give me a minute. Settle down. Settle your horses. Window capture. The wind games. There we go. Cool. I think I got it. I think I know what's going on. Can I add the audio from the window capture, though? Advanced audio properties. Ugh. Alright, I don't know. I don't know how. I'm not going to try to figure this out. I'm going to just transition to here. And I think if I play it... So this is Sydney Kennett. And you can look her up on YouTube. And there is music that she's choreographed to. She's got this choreographed with. It is insane, like, how she can go to some of the music with what's going on. Can I do full screen? And I don't care if I get hit for this, but look at this! The flexibility in her, like the goals, and like to go up, you can't tell, she's probably like just flattening out the tiniest of bit to be able to go back up again. Side flying, that's so hard to do. Look at this! Oh my god! Sorry, I'm like freaking out over here because like this stuff is so, you gotta realize it's like I said, 130 mile per hour winds that she's in right now, and you would never know it. And it's just, she's just using the wind to her advantage. Like the way her arms are right now is what's helping her to turn. It's all about angles in there. Just do that certain angle and then finding like the right balance. Now watch this exit, if it shows the exit. Where is it? Look, like, are you kidding me? She's... I think she was 13 at this time. That's crazy! Who does that? Well, I can I can't do all that, but I can kind of do some of that. And then we got a girl, Chloe, who she's 16, I think, who comes in, and I mean she's not up to where Sydney is, but she'll fly a half hour straight, and it's absolutely amazing. It's so cool. All right, now I need to pause that. Would the rope silk drape help with this? I would say probably no. Some aerobatics and some gymnastics will help out. Like, we've had a gymnast who come in, but there's some things that we have to break habits with, and the problem is because you have that wind coming up from underneath you, you know, and you don't really have anything above you. You know, all the pressure's coming from below. And so when you go to do a flip, yes, it's similar to when you're doing a flip in gymnastics, but the problem is you got the wind pushing you up, so your body has to be a little bit different than with the flip. If you open up just a little bit during that, you're going to start going up higher quick. You know, and so if you want to do those altitude changes while you're flying inside the wind tunnel, you know, you stay tucked for your flip to come back down, but you got to be able to make sure to stop yourself in time before obviously you hit the net, or you might just open your arms just a slightly bit to catch some drag so you don't drop as fast. Some of the turns, like what you're doing, like in gymnastics, you know, like if you do a jump roll, like kind of what she was doing in there, you know, you go up and you tuck your arm and you're using the inertia to do that roll. In the tunnel, you don't have to whip it as hard. Just by you already starting to move your arm, the wind is naturally going to start spinning you. Now, you know, you do have to keep control of it because obviously, like, you see you're kind of starting to turn because the way the wind's pushing on you. And so you either try to get out of it quicker, or you need to find a way with your body to just do a small, tiny little adjustment to kind of either get you to rotate one way or the other way, or to go up or down or be in the center. And because everything with flying is about altitude control, heading control, and speed control. You know, so can you stay center? Can you stay level? Can you stay stable? And can you stay facing the same direction without drifting or moving forward and backward and stuff? And anyways, I could talk about this stuff forever. I could talk about this all damn day long. Hello, Tiny Captain. Good to see you. Trying to see. You know, she can't skydive because she's not old enough yet. And I was trying to see if there was more videos on her. There's two twins who are out of Austin. They do dynamic wind tunnel flight competitions, and those are kind of cool. It's so when you're in the wind tunnel, you know, circle, cut it up into fourths. So put a line one way and then a line another way. So when you're flying, like two people, you might have to stay on a certain half of the tunnel as you're flying, and then when you go and rotate around, then you stay, you know, kind of in the other halves. There's a line of sight bar where in one of the parts, if you were to look through it, when they come down, they have to stay on one line and do like a flip underneath it and go back up, and they can't cross that line of sight or they get docked points. And I was trying to think of what, there's two, they're twins from, I believe they're from Austin, and they do a lot of flying of it, and I can't remember. I think it's Team C Squared. Team C Squared. Let me see if I can look it up and find it. And some of their competition stuff is absolutely insane. So that's a Facebook video. Looks like a lot of their stuff is on Facebook. And I don't have a Facebook anymore. I deactivated my Facebook. I was sick of drama stuff. I was sick of seeing so much stupidity on there. Okay, so that's not it. I'm trying to find them flying because it's so cool. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's just him dinking around. I want to find one of their competition videos, because then you guys would think that it's absolutely insane. Oh, here we go. This might be... That's not it. This is a shorter one. I might be able to play this for you guys. Let's pull this one up. Let's bring it back. It's only 13 seconds long, but it'll give you a little bit of a feel for what some of the competition is like. So it's 4 people in there, you know, switching directions. And so, like, this part right here where they're doing those flips, like, there might be a line of sight that you don't see that they have to make sure to be under when they're doing stuff like that. You know, they should be more on sync, but it's not that huge of a deal, like the way the point system works and everything. But they're only like, I think they're probably 20 years old now. So all these youngins in there flying around. Ooh, this might be a better one. Or is it just a stupid iFly commercial? It's an iFly commercial. I don't care. Ooh, that's another one I should pull up sometime is STEM. How we do STEM inside the wind tunnel. It's really cool. It's a really great way to show people how hail can easily form. So we'll have people come in for STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, right? And the kids will come in, they sit down, and we put all sorts of different things inside the wind tunnel for them to mess around with so they can see how it reacts. So, like, you know, these are like, you know, like a ball pit that you would see at, like, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. And so, like, the wind speed will be really low. We'll throw a basketball in there. You know, the basketball will, say, be at 30 miles per hour or something, or 40 miles per hour to stay afloat. And then we ask the kids, you know, we got a yoga ball. Is the yoga ball going to take more wind or less wind or the same amount of wind as the basketball? And usually they'll answer more wind because they just see bigger. So they instantly think, oh, it's bigger, it's going to need more air. And we put the yoga ball in and it's the same speed as the basketball, and that's because there's more surface area, so more surface area, more drag, even though the weight might be slightly more or the same, it's bigger, more drag, so it floats just as the same as what the basketball is in there. And then we take water and we'll spray water, and it's usually like 13 miles per hour of air will help kind of keep the water droplets up, and it's kind of cool because when you spray it out of the squirt gun, it turns into instant spheres. And so that's the other thing that I find funny about the flat earthers with, like, you know, water's always flat, it always level. Well, whatever. You know, you put it in a little bit of wind where it's weightless, it's a sphere. So water's curving right there. So then they can see how very little wind is holding the water up. And by seeing the basketball and realizing that the basketball has weight, they can see that the more there's an updraft in a storm, the more that water is going to stay up there until it collects more and more and more and gets heavier and heavier and turns into a hailstone where there's finally not enough wind, or the storm kind of essentially dies out, and so all that hail just starts to fall. And yeah, it's kind of fun. So that's another reason why I like all this. Synchronized human looks way more easy. This looks really difficult to learn. Control your lift and drop perfect to sync with others. It is, you know, that's why when you do it you work with just a trainer for a bit, and you got to get the skill down really well. You got to learn how to do those flips to be able to go from head down, flip back to head down, and being able to start controlling. And then once you start to control better, then another person will start to get in the air, and then you kind of do like a follow the leader thing. It's what I do with my students a lot when I'm teaching them belly skills or back flying, or when I was doing heads up sit fly. Follow the leader, because then you can start to build the speed up, and you start to do a lot of muscle memory. And oh, I want to go this way, all I have to do is turn my head and do this with my body, and you're instantly going that way. So it's repetitive over and over and over. And pee area that's closer to the restroom, yeah, exactly. The ball pit, don't want to pee in the wind tunnel. It recirculates, comes back around. You don't want to get hit by pee. I do have a penny though that I'm going to start showing my class. We found a penny embedded in some of the caulking for the tunnel that went through the fan system, and it's got a chopped off edge, and it's jagged as all hell. And we tell people, like, don't have anything in your pocket. They want to have, like cell phones, even in the, like, we call it the antechamber, in the little seating area that has an entrance to the wind tunnel. And they want to bring cell phones in there. Well, people ruined it because someone dropped a cell phone and it went into the wind tunnel, and little pieces, next thing you know, flying around like crazy. And so I'm going to start using that one for my classroom. Like, if you don't think it's, if you think it's that important to have something in your pocket, just let me show you what happened to that. And do you really want to be in a belly to earth orientation when that thing comes back around and hits you at 120 miles per hour? It's not good. I did say cocking. The cock king. So yeah, like I said, I could talk about this shit forever. I love skydiving and tunnel flying. Ugh. I need to go skydiving this year. I need to get an AAD. Get back. I don't need one, but I want one to be skydiving. Anyways, I don't know what else could I show you guys. Like I said, this was a impromptu stream. Should we make you guys a little bit dizzy and sick again with this road? I don't know what else to say. So I think maybe I'll play a little bit of this in the outro and chit chat in the background behind it. But thank you guys for coming by. If you missed a lot of what I was saying in the beginning as far as like channel stuff goes, go back and watch it. Hit the like button if you want. Hit the dislike button if you want. Leave a comment if you want. But cool. I'll try to get some stuff going out. I'll see if I can't put up video of me doing a little bit of the retrain so you guys can kind of see some of the stuff that they put us through. I don't think it would be bad for me to say that, like, one of the things is, walking on the net and they're flying, like him trying to entangle his legs with mine to try to get me to fall off my feet. And then have to pop back up real quick to get back to my student in case they start flying away. But yeah, that's Highway 16A in South Dakota. So if you go through South Dakota, you have to go on that highway. It's my favorite highway, or well, it's not. I mean, roadway, whatever you want to call it. It's Highway 16A, but it's one of my favorites that I've ever been on. There's a few in Wyoming that were cool, but nowhere near like that. So with that said, I'm going to play the outro. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be nice to one another. Stay sane. Get vaccinated if you haven't gotten vaccinated. Talk to me on Discord if you want to. Even though I haven't been responding to people very well lately, which is, I'm sorry, again. Not sure when I'll stream again. Purposely just randomly talking in the background. More words. Thank you, everyone. We're making things fun for me. Making it fun. I hope it continues to stay fun. Wish me luck on my doctor exam. Oh my god. I am not 14. See, this video right here proves I'm at least 18. You have to be at least 18 to skydive. So minimum you can say is 18. Awesome, Tiny Captain got the first jab! Yeah! If y'all wonder why I kick my legs coming up right here, it's because, like, there's people that were sitting and watching, and so I just kick my leg, like, being stupid, this is where I'm at. You ain't wrong, Jess. But they're a bit more strict when it comes to the skydiving part.